Hey YouTube, Check 101 here. I'm going to do a quick knife review as fast as possible on actually just one of these two knives, but I just wanted to introduce both of them together because they are so similar. And I'm going to be doing a review on this knife. Now, this is the Spyderco Byrd Cara 2. The company obviously that puts it out is Spyderco, but this is their budget line. The Byrd series, which you can read on there, BYRD. And basically these knives were made to, see if I can get better lighting, were made to basically facilitate the, poor economy right now, as well as just kind of give us more options for kind of just like beater knives. Like I said, these knives are made from Spyderco. However, they are made overseas now. They are made in China. If you guys have problems with that, maybe this isn't for you. I had, kind of some problems with it, but honestly, as long as the manufacturing is still good and it keeps the cost down for us, I don't have a problem getting a couple of them. But if you are interested, definitely check these knives out. There are so many of them, and it is really, really worthwhile to check it out. Excuse me. But the reason I wanted to introduce this knife with it as well is because they are so similar. Now, this is Spyderco's most popular knife design, the Endura 4. And the Endura, since it started, really has been their most popular knife design. This one has VG10 steel. This one has a saber grind. It does come now in a full flat grind. I have a partially serrated version. It does come either fully serrated or no serrations as well. Plain edge. We have an FRN handle with the bidirectional texturing and the Spyderco logo here. So those are going to be actually the differences between this knife and this knife. With this one, we have a steel of 8CR13 MOV, which is, if you know anything about knives, it's a mid-grade steel. If you don't know about that steel in particular, it's very similar to AUS 8A in my experience. It has relatively good rust resistance. It will rust on you, though, if you don't take care of it. It's a fair steel. It'll do its job adequately. It's not a super steel or anything like that. The edge holding on it is decent, and the good news about it is that it sharpens up remarkably easily. It just, put it on a stone, few easy swipes, and you're done. No need to fuss with it for very long. So that's the benefits of it. Downside is that it will dull quicker than, say, this steel, VG10. But that being said, the cost difference is also quite relevant. I think, this one, the Endura goes for like $109, I think, something like that, $110. This is MSRP, of course, and this one goes for like $40. So you can clearly see the difference. Scales on this one. Actually, before I get into that, this knife also comes in a full flat grind. Now remember, this is the Cara 2, okay? So the blade shape is very similar, if not identical, to the Endura. Okay, you can see exactly how similar that is, and it's really cool. But we have a full flat grind here, which means you can see the difference. You see the line going all the way across here, in case you don't know what grind is. There's the line that goes all the way across here, and you see how it's so low from the spine. Okay? Now you look at this one, you can't even see the line because, as you can see from this, it goes all the way up, and it does just a V taper all the way down. Okay? So there's no, abrupt stop of an edge, unlike this one. Now as a cutter, this is going to be superior. As far as cutting boxes and everything, this is going to be a fantastic cutter food prep, all that kind of thing. Great knife for that. Now getting into the scales. We have G10. It's not an incredibly high quality G10, but it does its job just fine. It's still nice and tough. We have a full lockback design with the David Boyd dent, just like all Spydercos that have the lockback, I should say. Fully adjustable and take apartable. We can remove anything off of this knife that we need to, although putting it back together is a pain in the butt, and I know a lot of guys on YouTube will go with me on that. They kind of did some scalloping here, which I don't know why. I think it was to lighten the knife. Doesn't really do too much of that, I don't think, but whatever. On this knife, what I am pleased about is that we do have the Spyderco clip. It's very typical of Spyderco, this general clip-it design, and I love this clip design. It retains well, but it's not so tough that it's going to rip up our clothing apart like some cold steel knives might do. I love cold steel, I just hate their clips. So far this knife is really solid. It's actually more solid than the Endura for lockup. The Endura has some up and down play, just a little bit, and this one has absolutely none, side to side, up and down, whatever, whatsoever. Now, being such a cheap knife, you can do stuff to this, you know. A friend of mine actually put some stickers on his, you know, whatever, kind of cool, I guess, if you are into that kind of thing. But, you know, overall, this is just a cheap knife that, especially in the economy today, you can keep collecting knives and not break the bank. Whereas a knife may have costed you $100 before, maybe more, this knife will cost you a fraction of that. And all of the Byrd knives will. You should see all of them. It's ridiculous. They've been out for a few years now, and they are just absolutely fantastic knives for the money. And that's really what the whole deal with them is that they are high-value knives. You know, if I were to want to go camping or something, I may not want to bring, you know, a $110 knife. I may want to bring my cheapo and just, if it breaks, oh, that's too bad. But, you know, another main difference, by the way, on these two knives, obviously the deployment hole is a little bit different, but they both work the exact same way. But what I prefer on this knife, actually, is that we also have a choil here, another finger groove, if you will, to choke up on that blade. We don't have that with the Endura. See, this is where it would be. We don't have that. You can't really get in there and have it be comfortable. This, however, is very comfortable. You can see how it just scoops. We just rest our finger in there, and now we have a really good place to control the knife. And, yeah, just kind of nice. The jimping, just like all Spyderco knives, is fantastic. We have it in here, too. And both of them are very, very good. But, yeah, so that's the Byrd Cara 2. The Cara 1 is really cool as well. It's got a kind of like a weird shaped blade. It's more like the Stretch, actually, that one. But the handle is exactly the same. And I've got one of those too. But all these knives are, you know, they're all different. They're all named after birds or things having to do with birds. So, you know, check them out. I got my brother a Meadowlark rescue knife. He's an EMT, so, you know, he can use that. But again, inexpensive, high quality for the price, you know? And that's really what we're kind of going for in this day and age, I think, is that. I would definitely consider this knife to be a EDC / folding tactical. I think it would serve in both of those purposes very well. You could also do some light food prep. You can also do some outdoor work with this knife and not really worry about it. Again, fully adjustable, fully removable. Anything that can, you know, everything can be taken apart on the knife. So, really good knife. Fast deployment. Highly recommend it for maybe a gift. If, you know, you're looking to give someone a knife and they don't really know a lot about knives and you're worried they might lose it or something, here's a less expensive option for them that you know, that they can use without, you know, you having to worry about it, or without them having to worry about it either. But again, good quality. So if you guys have any questions, leave me a comment. If you have any comments, leave me a comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you guys have any questions also about the rest of the Byrd line, go to Spyderco.com, and they have them all there. And I'm sure lots of guys on YouTube already have some really good reviews on some of the other knives. Again, that's Byrd, B-Y-R-D. You can see that right on there. Okay? And they're made in China, but, you know, whatever. So, there it is, and I hope you guys have a great day.